Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. So in the series of sorting techniques, counting sort is the next sorting algorithm that we are going to see today. Now if in case you just want to see the key points of the sorting algorithm, just skip to the last of the video. So up till now all the sorting techniques I have covered so far are comparison type sorting techniques, which means that two elements are compared in order to know their correct sequence. But counting sort does not use any such comparison but uses some other technique. So there are some prerequisites for counting sort, which is that the range of the elements in the array should be pre-known. For example, for this given array, if I knew that my elements will range from 0 to 10, so I can apply counting sort on this. So what counting sort does is, for every number in the range, it will see how many times that particular number exists. Now as we know, from 0 to 10, if all my numbers are from 0 to 10, first all the zeros will come, then all the ones will come, then all the twos will come, and so on. So what it will do is, it will go to every number in the range and will see how many times that number occurs in my array, and then it will just place these numbers in the array back. So what it will do is, now let's suppose this is my count array that ranges from 0 to 10, because the range given to me is from 0 to 10. Now the value stored at these indexes is currently 0. The default value is 0. Now we are going to traverse our array and increment the count, that is, we'll find the frequency of each element. So first we are on an index 0. Over here I found 1, so I'll update my index 1 by 1, that is, I incremented it by 1. Now I go to element 1. Over here I found 6, so I incremented this by 1. Then over here it was 4, so I incremented element index 4 by 1. We go to 8, 8 became 1, then again we found 4, we incremented 1 by 2. So up till now we can see that up till this part we had 2 4s, so over had 4 had 2, 1 6, so 1 had 6, 1 8, so 8 had 1, and 1 1, so index 1 had 1. So we'll go further. So 6 will be updated as 2, then for 3 it will become 1, then for 1 1 becomes 2. For element 8, the index 8 becomes 2. For element 6, our index 6 becomes 3. For element 5, index 5 becomes 1. For element 3, index 3 becomes 2. For element 2, index 2 becomes 1. And for element 9, the index 9 becomes 1. Now after I have traversed the whole array, the result in my array will be like this. So we had no zeros, so it will still have 0. We had 2 1s, so over here we had 2. We had 1 2, so 1 is already over here. We had 2 3s, 2 4s, 1 5, 3 6, 0 7s, 2 8s, 1 9, and 0 10s. So this is the final count array. This is how it will look. Now once we have found the frequencies of each number, we have to just add these numbers to the array. Now we'll start from the first element of the count array. So over here we have 0. So we'll check how many times 0 occurs in my array. So over here I can see that 0 does not occur in my array because it has 0. That means 0 has a frequency of 0. Then we go to 1. The frequency is 2. So I am going to add 2 ones over here. So this will become 1 and even this will become 1. Then we go to 2. It has 1. That means my array should have only 1 2. So over here we'll have 2. Then we go over here. It has 2. This means that my array should have 2 3s. So over here we'll have 2 3s. Then we go to 4. It has 2. So we'll have 2 4s. Then we go to 5. It has 1. So this means it will have 1 5. The next is 6, which is 3. So we'll have 3 6s. Next is 7. It is 0. This means 7 is not present in the array. Then we go to 8. There are 2 8s. Then we go to 9. We have 1 9. And as we can see that we have already reached the last element, that is we have placed the last element, so there is no need to go further. Also if you go further, the frequencies of rest of the elements will be 0. So this is how a counting sort algorithm works. Now let's code the counting sort algorithm. So over here I'll have an array and I'll store my numbers. Then I'll take a length integer. Now we want a count array that will store the frequency of each element of the array. Now over here I knew that the elements are up till 8. So I am going to write 9 over here because the index starts from 0. So now we'll traverse the whole array and we are going to update the count. So I'll increment the index of that particular element by 1. Now once it is done, I'll take an index I is equals to 0. This is used only to add the numbers at the correct position. Now I'll traverse my count array. We'll take a integer type variable name as frequency and we'll store the number of times the particular index has to come. So over here the frequency will have the number of time this element C has to come in the array. Now while my frequency is not equals to 0, we are just going to add the element to the array. So over here we'll do is array of I plus plus is equals to C. So I have stored this particular index at my main array and we'll decrement the frequency. Now instead of having a variable, you can also write this count C over here directly. It is just in order to give you a better understanding. Now let's see if the algorithm works properly. See, our array has been sorted. Now there might be a possibility that the range of the elements might have some negative numbers. So what we can do is we can store the range over here. Let's suppose my numbers are from -10 to 10. So this means the total distinct number of elements are 21. That is from -10 to 10 we have 21 distinct elements. So my count array will be of size 21. So over here the size will be max range minus min range plus 1. This is the total size of my count array. Now over here we know that the index of any array cannot be negative. So what we'll do is let's just store the length over here. And this will go up to length. Now what we will do over here is, when we are storing the number, we are going to subtract the minimum range from it. Now suppose if my numbers were -1, -2, 4 and 3. So the minimum range will have -2 and the maximum will have 4. So the length will become 4 minus 2 4 minus of -2 plus 1, which becomes 7. So I will have an array of length 7. The indexes will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. The elements whose frequency that I have to store is -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So I have to map -2 to 0, -1 to 1, 0 to 2, 1 to 3 and so on. Now this can be done by subtracting the minimum range from each element. So minimum range over here is -2. If I subtract -2 from -2, it becomes 0. If I subtract -2 from -1, becomes 1 and so on. So over here what we'll do is, instead of direct incrementing the ith element by 1, we are going to subtract the minimum range. And similarly over here, while we are storing the number, we are going to add the minimum range so that the actual number can be received. So let's add some negative numbers over here, -2 and -3. So our range is perfect and we'll see if this works. See, our array has been sorted even with negative numbers. So the key point for counting sort are, first, that it is a non-comparison based sorting algorithm. That means we are not comparing two numbers and then finalizing the order of their sequence. Second, in order to use counting sort, the range of the elements should be known before. Third, there are total 2 passes required in order to sort any array using counting sort. First pass is done in order to get the frequency of all the elements, and second part is done in order to place the elements in the correct order. Fourth, since only 2 passes are required, the time complexity for counting sort is of order of n for all the cases. Fifth, the space complexity of counting sort is order of n, and since it is greater than order of log n, it is called as outplay sorting algorithm. It is order of n because we need an array in order to store the frequency of the elements. Now when the ranges of the element becomes very high, this sorting algorithm does not remain efficient when it comes to memory. And the last point is that it is a stable sorting algorithm, which means that the order of the sequence of the same numbers do not change even after sorting. So this was all for today's video. If you have any doubt, you can leave a comment in the comment section. Also, if you want me to solve any particular question of yours, you can leave it in the comment section with a hashtag #CodeMyQuestion. I will be also leaving the GitHub link in the description box. It will have all the codes that I do, and you can go and see all these codes over there as well. And if you like my videos, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you.